You know, it is wipe day when you spawn and you see this.
Make a team and fighting each other.
Ah!
You understand?
No.
We all know also that wipe day means hell. Literally anywhere you go there is chaos. Doesn't matter who you are, what you do, where you go. You will always be a bunch of bones and animal fat ready to serve the next naked.
I need your animal fat. You.
Now, if you remember the previous video, we played on an official server with no team limits. The problem we had was that we were not enough into the team. Zergs and big clans everywhere, meanwhile we were at maximum 3 or 4 online at the same time. Our goal for this wipe was indeed to play again on official, but teaming up with a couple of players we've met on that previous wipe, being so a bigger team. But after the Rust DLC update, many users started having FPS problems while playing on big servers, and obviously I was one of those many. Days later I solved the issue, but it was too late to join an official, so me and Noki, one of my friends, started a max trio server, waiting for Fredo, another friend of mine I always play with.
Ninja.
Alright, I'm back. I really hope I put myself on mute, because my dad and mom just complained about that I gotta go to the shower and
because you stink.
I'm not...
Wait.
Where are you?
No.
I spotted a few strategical positions for making a new base, but they were already occupied. Noki managed to build a little one to start storing a few resources, but later we saw many geared guys around us, and we knew it was going to be impossible to survive. No! We decided so to move to a different position, spawning naked, and after farming just a bit of wood for a spear and a campfire, we started running to the opposite side of the map. Our mission was to reach the bandit camp, for them building a base between the power plant and launch site. Snow biome, cold, freezing in the night, with no food or clothes for a sleeping bag, our HP were dropping down drastically. We stopped a few times to restore, eating human meat and using the few bandages we had. We were close to the dome, Noki died, and I kept running to the bandit camp.
I'm dead.
No.
The sun was rising, and I was finally leaving the snowy, painful place with 4 HP left. I farmed the few barrels around and recycled everything for cloth, frags and scrap. Noki reached me minutes later, and when ready we started running to the promised land. We somehow managed to find a very good spot, and so we started building our fancy bunker 2x2. The power plant was obviously the first monument we went to. There was still something left around and we found some good loot, but later Discord server stopped working for hours. We were not able to communicate. Noki went AFK for a while and I somehow forgot it was wipe day also for my washing machine.
Something else like...
Then I was also feeling sick, so I had to disconnect and basically we left the server. But you are not here for listening a random adventure, right? Because the title of this video is completely different. It talks about a duo team. So ladies and Rust elements, take a seat and be ready, because what's going to happen from now on won't be a normal wipe day. During the video I will ask you to keep in mind a few important episodes and players we will meet, because all of them will somehow influence our story. It was just me and Fredo. We decided to start for the first time a duo server together. After spawning, I immediately found some food and a campfire. Shots in the distance. Since we joined 8 hours after the wipe, someone was already geared up with guns, but we were ready to fight, ready to survive.
I can't help, dude. I can't, dude. I don't have enough. The pigs are running after me too.
Seemed pigs also knew it was wipe day. Geared pigs everywhere. The server was full, but so far I saw no one going to the lighthouse, and so I went for it.
Yeah, they're crazy. They're crazy.
Lucky boy, I found barrels, chests and the green card. I recycled some component, and in the meantime Fredo was reaching me with a bot.
Burr, you want me so bad. You'd better run, Burr. You died.
We started so exploring the surroundings, far away from the spawn. Since many spots were already claimed, we decided to build our base on a desert island, near the SuperQuark and to the harbor. We saw something interesting near this place. Fredo wanted to build a weird base that I'm sure you never saw before. We were the first one reaching this place. We farmed all the necessary to build our starter base, and then I went outside for some hardcore PvP. Those geared pigs. We crafted the furnace needed to smelt the metal ore we farmed before, and then I went exploring the area around the SuperQuark just to check the situation. I went back to the base with some loot, then we took a boat to farm some scrap in the sea. The sea scrapping was super important for us because we had to find a full diving set to build our underwater base.
Che coglione. Sì. Oh, okay.
While Fredo was having dinner, I decided to explore a little bit more the island, checking for new bases.
Do you have a mic?
Yes.
I will leave you alone. You're solo, I don't want to ruin your game.
And so now we have a friendly neighbor. I think it was just a solo player chilling, never trusting Rust, right? But I decided to help him anyway with some starting resources for his base.
No, I'm sorry, but I don't trust anyone, and what's your name so I can... Okay.
We researched some tool, farmed a little bit more, and right after we noticed there were scrapcopters spawning near us. We were not alone in the island and something happened. So in a first moment I thought it was our neighbor's friend, but I was wrong.
Tactical nuke!
No. No.
Ho sentito boom. Ho sentito boom.
Mission
No.
I tried to help him, but then he said he was going to leave the server.
No, it's good. I leave the server. I leave. Thanks.
No,
You can take
come on.
my stuff.
Come on, you can keep doing. We give you help to build again the base. Ah, yes. Okay.
Was also time to explore again the SuperQuark one more time to check for the new bases. We saw a weird one, a bad design in my opinion, and someone spotted us. Obviously we went fighting.
Pronto, I'm going deep. Aia. Figlio di puttana.
A guy camping on the top of it.
No, cazzo mi ha preso.
Fredo was killed by a lucky shot, and me, after analyzing enemies' moves, I started peeking on one side. But his friend joined the fight as well, and the guy I killed before was running towards Fredo's body to take the bow.
Bastardo.
Ti ha preso.
Potrebbe mi ha fatto.
Oh, cazzo.
Fucking fat, no, easy kill.
GG.
I'm on the pistol, easy kill.
Nice,
Easy
nice,
kill.
nice.
Easy, easy. Oh,
no,
nice, slogan,
lì
thank you.
bisogna-
Fucking easy,
No
fucking
problem. Why
easy.
are
Hey, look at this, I want to show you something cool.
Okay.
You see this?
Yeah, like everyone else
Hey,
does.
it's time to say goodbye.
What a
Oh, I
fail.
missed.
Yeah, try
Hey,
again.
look at this.
They also missed the arrow. My
Mark
bad.
Scheiß, look at this. Ah.
Later Noki will join the server as well, but since it was a duo server only, he built a base in another place, and we gave him some stuff to start.
Make also a wolf head.
Oh, yeah. Thank you.
But don't worry, we will never break the rules, plus he will join just a few hours roaming around. We were on a stage of the wipe where we needed a gun to defend ourselves. We grabbed all the components, scrap and items to recycle, and we went to the outpost. That was going to be the right, safe place to recycle and buy a gun plus other things so useful for the base.
Per i cespugli. Oddio, ingaggiano me. Aspetta,
C'è un altro qua?
mi ha preso.
No, non fa.
No, vai davanti, non sono quello che ha. Sì, è quanto bravo è.
Sì, ma c'hai anche i cosi, c'hai anche gli
Giusto,
scrap.
adesso io vengo.
Oh? Uno si è schiantato con l'elicottero.
Sì. Bastardi, dovrò farlo.
Vieni.
No, mi hanno fatto.
But seemed some unnutted player with the worst aim of the server was camping outside the outpost. I died first and later also Fredo trying to recover the materials and scrap into my body. We spawned close to where we died, but when we reached the place we realized that they stole everything since we didn't enter the safe zone in time. I was ready to kill myself in-game, to kill myself in-game, and respawn at the main base, but Fredo convinced me to try farming some resources around here playing as real survivors, starting from literally nothing. I recycled some component left on our bodies and crafted a melee, nail gun and a bow. We were starving, but luckily we found a campfire with some food left. We decided to go to the lighthouse, but someone was approaching as well.
L'ho fatto.
Fredo nailed it with an axe, fighting in the dark. The guy came with more components for us. We went back home and we upgraded the bunker, adding more protective layers and the space for the refinery. Anyway, our goal was obviously the oil rig, the overpowered monuments that keeps being found. We needed the blue keycard first, since we had the green one. Then we went looking for a minicopter, for then going to the top of the train yard's main building. Anyway, while doing so, we encountered some small fight, nothing worth the time, by the way.
Triple hit.
Ce n'è un altro
Due.
dietro. C'è un arco.
Fuori uno.
Hit l'altro. Faccio qui.
After finding a minicopter, we went to the red, but someone already looted it. Many players around fighting, and right when I was ready to pick up my teammate, my internet went off. I needed 5 minutes to fix it, and when I logged back, I was still alive, still in the top of the building with a minicopter next to me. Fredo died while trying to go back home alone, but I instead decided to go down the red, since everything just respawned while I was sleeping. But someone was having the same idea.
Sì, sì, sì.
Hai fatto?
Jackpot. This guy was loaded. I had now another blue card and the red one. Fredo later reached me and together we ran back to the base.
Sì, 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 ci sono. Vai. Devo anche cercare di ammazzarlo.
Before going to bed, I researched the shotgun trap to better defend our base, even so at this stage of the wipe, the base we had was already strong enough to defend us from an offline raid. Day 2, also known as the Jackpot Day. We woke up, cleaned the whole island, reactivated the furnaces and prepared all the necessary to build a small base in front of the small oil rig. This just in case some of us was going to die and also to store the keycards. We were ready to go, but we decided to go naked first, checking situation, because while building our small base, someone started unlocking the crate. We took a boat and here they are. The two guys coming back from the oil rig. Fredo survived and I reached him immediately with also the cards. We found a bunch of interesting things and decided to go back home researching them for then aiming for a bigger loot. The big oil rig. Hell yeah, boy, the big one. Woohoo, we're going to rock the server. No, okay, listen. We prepare again for a new base. Same move we did at the small oil rig. Me and Fredo took 2 different boats because these do not spawn on this snowy environment. And this is the first thing you have to keep in mind. The second is that while reaching the place, we both stopped looting 2 chests on the sea, hoping for a garage door or satchels, I don't know. But instead I found a jacket and a diving tank. This will help us later, so keep in mind, okay? You have to remember, okay, never mind.
C'è anche un bel campfire qua.
We built a base on the top of an iceberg to have a better view right in front of the monument. We stored some guns, ammo, food, gears, and we went outside with a revo and compound bow with high velocity arrows.
Arriva
Barca
gente.
arriva.
Oh, hanno un semi. È sceso uno. Uno è giù. C'è un altro headshot all'altro.
Preso. Se ne sta andando.
Uno è giù.
Preso. Bella fatta.
A boat arrived, but we won the fight. We decided so to go back to the little base storing what we found. Grenade launcher, M92, bolty, and a bunch of other stuffs. We didn't manage to take the semi-automatic because falling down in the water.
Okay, so I'm editing and I just realized that they had an AK. Oh my god, and I left it there down in the water. Oh my god.
And a diving tank. This will help us later. We went back to the Aria and started looting it. After opening the blue door, another
Aria
boat was
gente.
approaching.
Oh mio Dio.
Hit, hit. Hit. Cazzo, hanno roba buona.
Two boys geared with LR and M39.
Vanno su dall'altra parte, sai.
Qua.
Abbiamo fatto.
Io l'ho fatto invece. Uno. L'altro mi ha fatto, Dio santo!
I was freaking out. Indeed, I missed almost all the shots with a shotgun. Shame on me. Fredo killed one of them, and so it basically was my fault. We had the chance. At that point, we wanted our revenge. I kept staring at Yorick from our little base to check the situation. We didn't know if the guy that killed us already left the place. To check so, we went there first naked, and right when we were at the boat, we saw the same hazmat
Ce l'ho
guy.
fatta. È lui? C'è il pacianca? No. È il tizio.
He killed us, but I knew he was going to stop right there checking for our naked bodies. Fredo took the bolty, hit him once and then died. I took the sniper near Fredo's body then. I had only 3 shots.
Abbiamo altri proiettili.
Ce l'ho su di me, ce l'ho su di me.
È giù, è giù.
We were so happy, but when we went looting, we realized that he wasn't the same guy that killed us at the oil rig. Again, we lost the Emmy down in the water, but I remember that we stored a diving tank, right? Bingo! Now we had the start to research. While coming out from the water, the same guy was sneaking on the coast. Fredo nailed him again with the bolt.
Sì, ma abbiamo una visuale qua che facciamo.
We decide to go back to the main base with all the loot. That small base was not a safe place anymore. They were going to raid us, for sure. Went home, we craft some gun, and again, Fredo had a great idea of building a shop. And so we did. We were selling semi-automatic rifles, plus a bunch of other stuffs. We needed more resources to build our new main base. The snowy place was the one we were aiming for because of the big amount of nodes we saw when coming back from the Aria. We had two options: to take a boat or going there with a hot air balloon. Guess what we did? It's Rust. If you don't play it at 360 degrees, you have small PP. Back to the base, we heard some explosion in the distance, and we decide to go checking the situation with a limited equipment. We approached in sneaky mode and we spotted the base being raided. But before organizing the counter raid, we wanted to know the raider's base position. Now keep in mind these bolty shots and the big metal base, because that is the one raiders are from.
You know.
We reached the raided base from behind, and we heard two guys inside with a jackhammer taking down probably a wall.
Hanno chiuso però.
We decide so to wait them outside with the double barrels. At some point, these two stopped making noises, and immediately someone from the metal base shooted me with a bolt.
Lascio dato a me il cecchino.
Right after, one of the two guys inside the base came out aiming to Fredo that was hidden behind a wall, impossible to spot from inside the base. Plus, none of those two was shooted by the bolty.
Bad guy.
So this means only one thing: they were teaming as a trio team. Two inside raiding and one protecting from the base. I immediately reported them, but keep in mind their names, because from now on a war just started.
Task.
We didn't complain or wrote anything in the chat about. We decided to wait. Instead, we went to the big Aria. Our little base on the top of the iceberg was still up. We gained some spicy loot from the now unlocked crate. We also found explosive ammo on a scientist's body.
Nice.
We went back home and we noticed that someone bought our stuff at the shop. We were tired, and so we decided to end the day with a small surprise. I woke up. Someone else bought at our shop. More scrap for us. We went farming a bit more before building our new base. Fredo had a specific idea in mind. Basically, he wanted to build a multi-carport base, but with a third one controlling an underwater base Wi-Fi. Yes, I literally said Wi-Fi. I mean, a carport controlling a base without touching it, underwater. But first, we went to a drop near us and then we farmed some wood.
Ah, ho preso la flor.
The experiment ended up well. We now have a multi-cupboard base with a third controlling some metal foundation down in the water. There we will build all the loot rooms with the vending machines, the only storage that you can place on the water. Later I went to the bandit camp for trading a garage door for a bunch of sulfur.
Yeah,
They lost their minicopter and I felt a bit responsible because this trade changed also their plans somehow.
Once you lost a copter, I think is at least I have to give you this.
Keep in mind also their names
So-
because something between us will happen in the next days.
Do you want me to bring it back to your base? To you, if I have a minicopter up there, I can help you going back to your base. Take.
I can give you the... Take that.
I can boost you, I can boost you.
Thank you.
Oh.
What? Shit.
Try again? Okay.
Thank
Are you fine? No problem, man. Have a nice game.
So I decided to give half of my fuel and the minicopter I came with. They were happy and so I was, right? I mean, yeah, if they are happy, I am happy. I know, I have a problem with Rust relationship, okay? Obviously, when I reported the situation back to my mate, I had to say I lost the minicopter and I'll never tell him the truth. I had to find another copter, but before doing so I researched the garage door at the bandit camp. Then we went to the Aria again. We saw some players approaching us or passing nearby, but seemed none of them wanted to fight. Anyway, we had to be careful.
No, ci abbiamo...
Oh! G?
No!
Went home and with the big furnace we found at the Aria, we built a smelting room with a double floor grill layer protection. Later, this will also be the layout for the helicopter tower. While building our base, we met another player that we helped with some resources and blueprints, but he never was that much active.
Why are you running?
Before going to bed, we transferred all the important loot from the old base to the new one, since this last was the safest. Then we logged off. This third day was quite too much, considering the server being always active. This day is the one where troubles began. If you remember, 2 days before we tried to counter-raid 2 guys near us, but we realized they were teaming with another guy, violating the server rules. When we woke up, the server admin already banned them for dual rule violation, but didn't remove their house. Nothing wrong or weird, by the way. It was going to decay in 24 hours with no problem, but a huge disaster will happen in a few hours. Me and Fredo decided to go finding a minicopter or scrap one, and this while flying the hot balloon. Because this is what pro players do. Adapt, overcome.
You serious?
When home, we went again to the Aria, hoping for some fight, but also we were looking for rockets. Or C4. We found nothing interesting, and when back at the base we decided to build a tower for the helicopter, since it was going to be the easiest way to find all the rockets we needed. Later we traded some scrap for the road sign killed with a guy called Trix.
Hello, I'm here with the skill, the chirk, whatever it's called, and I'm dying. Take also the fuel, I didn't find the bot.
Now, remember the cute couple with me at the bandit camp? They needed charcoal, and so, since they seemed friendly, we gave them our base position. If they were going to raid us, it was fine, it's part of the game, and we wanted to test out this new design.
How are you?
Hello. Yeah, take.
Oh, thanks. Well, I mean, it's Rust. On Rust, don't trust, but if you can help because they help you, it's the minimum, like at least helping each other when needed.
It was just unexpected, and I could not find the humor or anything after, and it was like annoying. I don't know, thank you.
See ya.
They reached us with a minicopter and they brought us an AK. And as a gift for the minicopter I gave them at the outpost, they also gave us the blueprint for the face mask. We are talking about 500 scrap. Holy moly! From now on, things will get more complicated, and all the players we've met during the wipe will converge into a unique and weird story.
I killed Benito.
Again? She told me you're next.
After Pumpkin and his girlfriend left our island, we heard some boom boom in the distance. Let's say near to our old base, probably around the sulfur quarry. We thought someone was raiding the base of those banned for teaming up in more than 2. Trix, the guy of the kilt, started messaging me about the situation. He told me they were kinda raiding the base, but it wasn't clear at all. Someone dying from the auto turrets as always, yeah. He also tried to kill them, and then he saw the raiders opening the gate. Basically they guessed the code of the gate, and so they got also all the doors remaining and the TC. Something weird, I didn't get that. 1 hour later we spotted someone near our old base. I was preparing all the necessary to install a turret circuit at the main base. I had to kill myself and I spawned there. Heard a few footsteps outside, but a minute later no one was there anymore. Back to the main base, we heard the patrol coming toward us. So I geared up and went to the watchtower.
Sento.
Hittato ancora.
More explosions in the distance. This time closer than
nostra
ever.
base?
We immediately realized what was happening.
Andiamo là, dai.
They were raiding our old base. We had almost nothing there, but we promised to the friendly neighbor to protect his base if someone was going to raid him.
Sente tutto qua. Oh, io sono già dentro. Hanno messo una torretta.
No, mi ha one-shottato!
I almost killed both two, but then I died by a bolty shot. I totally forgot that a bolty headshot deals 160 damage and that with my protection 35 I was going to die, obviously. I respawned and I noticed that these guys were totally blind. Are they like playing on a Nintendo DS? What the fuck? So, they quickly raided our starter base. Fredo managed to respawn there, they didn't even break the bags. They also set up an auto turret defending the raid, and so they started taking down also the base of our neighbor. Fredo started baiting the shotgun trap we had on that base, and so I took advantage of the situation to work on a little comeback.
Ma volevo fare una sorpresa con il double barrel sotto.
I deactivated the generator, authorized to the turret, clearing their authorizations for then reactivating the system. Then I went into the base looking for anything that could have helped me for the fight, but I had to be quick. I played that move really bad. Instead of an SMG, I could have used a semi-automatic to fight them since they were far away from me. Anyway, the turret seems did its work. I asked Fredo to hide my jumps with shotgun shots. But when I approached to the base, I realized they removed the turret and they were gone. They literally ran away like cowards. More gear than us, not brave enough to keep fighting versus me. But it is not over yet. We grabbed all the remaining stuffs and Fredo explained me that while we were getting raided, he was receiving private messages from Bad Guy via Discord. The one that killed me with a bolt, the same that was banned the day before for teaming up with other teams. Now everything comes to a point. After they got banned, someone raided their house, but Trix told me they also got the codes and TC. This means they are the same guys with alt accounts or some of his friends that tried to avenge them by offline raiding the whole server and outplaying us like cowards. Those explosions were probably the bunker or some defenses blocking the way. The day was over. I was incredibly disappointed because I played some bad move and at the same time they ran away without fighting. I was pissed off. Day 5. Well, Yes, but actually the last day of this wipe, last for us. We woke up and I went roaming checking for the bases around. Everyone was complaining about someone raiding offline during the night, and we all know who they are. I approached the big metal base and I almost died by a turret. I found a minicopter and with it I went back home for then going to recycle a few stuff. I remembered another base after that one in metal. I decided so to take a look. There was something weird. All bases around destroyed and this one spawned in literally less than 12 hours, with external compound and high quality layers. When home we heard the copter and it's been days since we wanted to take it down. We took a minicopter and went towards it. Unfortunately, he never followed us. It's broken, that's it. While at the base, the admin contacted me about the reports I submit and verified that yes, actually there were more players verified to the cupboard of the metal base. Same for the codes. And the same guys had multiple bases loaded of loot all around the map. I know what was going to happen next, and I could not wait anymore.
Woo! See? Thanks, admin.
After I went checking for remaining bases and bodies. Bolty shots right when I was looking for an airdrop. I was loaded and I decided first to bring back a few stuff for then going back there. Someone was stuck into the cave base and so I decided helping. He was the guy that tried to shoot me before with a bolty, and somehow we ended up starting an adventure together.
What the fuck? We don't have fuel, we have to go down. We have to fight here. Oh, I may die. Damn it. Yeah, I have 7 HP, I'm going to die. Damn it, it was too hard, damn it. Okay, let's go break.
After losing the bad choppy, we decided to go to the airfield for the locked crate, hoping for some fight. But right when we were waiting for it, we heard some explosions next to us.
Oof, do you wanna try that?
I am down, bruh.
Okay, fuck the crate, let's go.
Unlucky for you, I'm queen of the ball.
But me and you getting my crossbows, well, and my revolver's literally the only weapons I have. That'd be nice.
Yeah, okay.
And I'm like Cleopatra, I get what I want.
So basically we roamed around but we found nothing super interesting. We helped some player after killing him, then we killed him again.
No, it's the guy up there. Oh damn. Oh damn, sorry man, sorry.
I knew it was gonna happen.
I feel so bad. Okay mate, now I have to go to eat and do my stuff. And
We decide to stay in touch for the next wipes. We are slowly meeting new players after every wipe. Maybe at some point we will play all together as a big team. It's one of my Rust dreams.
You'll protect my copter.
Okay.
Oh dear.
Barca.
Ok, è morto.
The last crate just unlocked when we were in front of our base. We found the missile launcher, but no rockets, no AK, just 2 bolties. When home I upgraded the base, installing more auto turrets and shotgun traps, for then going down in the sea to finish a work we started time ago, the underwater base, or loot room, whatever it was going to be. Okay. So after all these days, the metal foundation were still up, not decayed yet. This means that the bug works, but we did a huge mistake. If you notice, there are 4 twig foundations left that we forgot to remove after building the metal one. The rule is to remove them following the order of when you place them, but instead we removed one in the middle, making the whole system to go in panic mode. I swam back to the base and we realized that the cupboard took the control of the whole base, literally eliminating the main one that was sealed into the bunker. We lost everything that was inside, and now everything was also decaying. We were basically raiding our base. We started taking down all the cupboard without caring the fact that now the shotgun traps were hostile to us.
No! Come c'entri in base, dai, se me lo spieghi?
Fredo managed to place one in the bunker, but he was now stuck into it. I was also stuck into a 1x1 surrounded by traps. Fredo unloaded the ones near the new cupboard and so I respawned.
Sto per respawnare. Non lo so!
Perché stai ferma? Dove ti
Basically, there was a huge mess. The shotgun killed me and the auto turret thought to avenge me by destroying the trap. Somehow we managed to place again at least the 2 cupboard controlling the main base, but not the one controlling the underwater one. We decided to end our adventure here. The server was going to wipe in 2 days, and those players' spend caused a lot of problems to the server population. A bit sad, but we had a lot of fun during these days. We won our fights, sometimes we lost as well. We tried to counter a raid and we laughed a lot. We also tried the impossible, an impossible based on a vanilla server duo only. Rust is probably the only and unique game in the market right now that allows you to play into different ways. Thanks to all the players for being part of this incredible adventure, and thanks also to the server staff for sorting out the problems reported. If you want to play into this server, the link is down in the description. Hope you enjoyed this video, write down in the comments what you think or any criticisms. Leave a like and share if you want to support me as well, and I'll see you in the next one. Frommy out. Frommy out. Frommy out.